This is MSU Today. Here's Russ White.
Michigan State University has launched a new effort based on one of the actions outlined in the Relationship Violence and Sexual Misconduct Strategic Plan. The goal is to transform MSU's culture as it relates to instances of relationship violence, sexual assault or abuse, sexual harassment, and stalking. It's the Support More initiative. Here's Michigan State University President Samuel L. Stanley Jr., MD.
Well, the Support More initiative is a critically important communication initiative that focuses on providing guidance for how to respond to disclosures of relationship violence or sexual assault or sexual misconduct on campus, and help our faculty, staff, and anyone contacted respond to those experiences in an empathic manner, as well as promoting the availability of related campus resources and services. We're really taking steps to transform MSU's culture as it relates to instances of relationship violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and stalking. And this really grows out of the work of a number of outstanding faculty at MSU who have developed trauma-informed approaches to responding to people who've undergone one of these events. So the whole goal here is to take steps aimed at transforming MSU's culture as it relates to instances of relationship violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and stalking. And I'm really grateful to the RVSM Expert Advisory Work Group. Their members have been dedicated to this work, and to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Division of Victim Services for support of this work through a Victims of Crime Act grant award. You can learn much more about this at the Support More MSU website. Again, it's an important program, and I encourage you to go to the site because there are ways in which you can help make a difference in this important problem.
The URL is supportmore.msu.edu.
So I'm Dr. Katie Gregory, and I'm faculty over in the psychology department, and I'm co-director of the Support More project at MSU.
I'm Lauren Wickland. I'm a fourth-year student in the clinical psychology PhD program at MSU.
Gregory concurs with President Stanley that Support More is about changing the culture at MSU and giving Spartans the tools to make a difference.
Really, what this is about is helping change the culture at MSU and think about how we can give people the tools to respond when a friend or a colleague has disclosed that they've experienced relationship violence or sexual assault. And we look at this in two directions, that we want to support people by giving them the language of how to respond, right? So if somebody's disclosed, what can you say to be supportive of that person? And also teaching our community what resources are out there for survivors.
How does a person know they need your services?
Right. Well, I think that is part of the journey of somebody who may have been assaulted, is that they may not know. They may not know. They may not have a way to define what they've experienced. And talking to other people is a way to help figure that out. And so going to the programs on campus, so we have the Sexual Assault Healthcare Program, Center for Survivors, MSU Safe Place, and then we also have the Employee Assistance Program and Gender and Sexuality Campus Center. So those are programs on campus where people can go to talk to somebody to figure out what's going on, but also to get services and get help.
MSU is striving to create a trauma-informed culture and to help our community respond to survivors of relationship violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and/or stalking in an informed and caring way.
Being trauma-informed means meeting people where they're at, basically, believing folks and their experience, what they say has happened to them, and meeting them there and providing them the support on their terms.
Who can take advantage of the resources you offer?
The majority of the services on campus are for students, faculty, and staff, but the Sexual Assault Healthcare Program is also for the larger community, so the greater Lansing community. So people can come on if they've experienced an assault and get medical care right at the program on campus.
So the Sexual Assault Healthcare Program is available to anyone in the community in the East Lansing and Greater Lansing area. And I think that's really important to highlight because so many people in the community are unsure if something on campus is for them, and it is.
So MSU Safe Place is also a program that provides services to the greater Lansing community as well.
How can one help another person who has experienced relationship violence and sexual misconduct?
Well, I think the first step is just to listen and, say that you are there for them and they can share with you as much or as little as they want to at that point in time. Let them know that you believe them and you're there to support and help whatever decision they might make, or to listen as they maybe explore and talk about what happened or what they might want to do, even if they're not at the decision-making point yet.
Yeah, I think Lauren did a great job of really articulating what is helpful for survivors when they talk about what's happened to them. And we know that friends and family and even professors sometimes can be the first people that they're the first people that are disclosed to by somebody. And I think having the right words, the right language to say is so key in helping people kind of move on that trajectory of healing. It really opens that door to then talk about what else they may want to do, may or may not want to do in terms of accessing services. It is often scary to hear when somebody's experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, hearing that for the first time. And I think there are so many opportunities to be able to be supportive. And one of the things that we're trying to do with this initiative is actually show people what they can do. And we've built out a lot of materials where people can actually see examples. So we have videos on our website showing how people say supportive language. And we also, the nice thing about having all of these programs on campus is that if you don't know how to support someone, you can go to a program and say, I don't know what to do. And they're there to help. This is not something that anybody should do on their own, be it having been a survivor or supporting a survivor through this process.
As President Stanley said, Know More, Do More, Support More is funded by a Victims of Crime Act grant award administered by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Division of Victim Services.
The great thing about this project is that we've received funding from the state of Michigan through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, their Division of Victim Services program. And they have been very supportive in seeing the vision that we have as well, sharing this vision of changing campus culture. And they've been very invested in this, and they want to see it be successful. The approach that we've taken with this is not just thinking about having people from the RVSM work group be the ones who are pushing this forward. We've really worked hard to engage who we call community partners on campus. So the programs that I listed who provide services to survivors, which is MSU Sexual Assault Healthcare Program, Center for Survivors, MSU Safe Place, Employee Assistance Program, the Gender and Sexuality Campus Center, as well as the Title IX office and MSU Police. And we've had people from those programs come to meetings and provide feedback on the materials that we've created. And then after, we've taken them further out into our MSU community to other leadership asking, are there things that we're missing? Should we be doing more? And this is how we've been able to get traction and get support for this, is to make sure that there are a lot of people involved.
RVSM affects our whole community. It affects all of us. And so we want folks to know that we're here. There's a lot of resources on campus, and we're working really hard to change the culture on campus so that everyone can be a part of making MSU a safer place for everybody. MSU is a really big campus, and there are a ton of resources. And so part of Support More is letting folks know exactly what resources there are and what they do and who works there, and demystifying some of that process. The other part is that realistically, you're more likely to tell a friend or a TA or a close professor that something may have happened to you before you even get to the step of accessing those resources. And so we really wanted to provide this support more language for folks, for the first responders, the people who, you disclose to first, to not only help bridge that person on their healing journey to the campus resources, but also start that process with them with the very first thing that they say in response.
This campaign and this initiative really is focused on survivors and on the people that they're disclosing to. And one of the things that we have noticed as we've led up to creating this project is that we have resources, and people have been through trainings around how to report if somebody's disclosed. And we want to take this beyond that. We want this to also show how to really be supportive, and that we're not alone in doing this, that we have a community on campus to support anyone who has experienced it and anyone who is supporting somebody who's experienced it. And that this is not just about students, but this is about students and faculty and staff, as well as our greater MSU community. And I think if we see the success of this, we are going to see the culture change, the culture shift that Lauren has talked about. Again, taking people back to our website, the supportmore.msu.edu website, which again links out to all of the resources on campus, as well as we have a page that talks about how to support someone, what to do, what you can say to really help somebody when they've disclosed that they've experienced violence.
For more, visit supportmore.msu.edu. I'm Russ White for MSU Today.
Find, rate, and subscribe to MSU Today with Russ White on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your shows. And please share this conversation if you're so inclined.